Hi, I'm Armand.
I am Anton, and this is Talk to Me. Trump claimed to be the best president America has ever had.
So we chose 4 random presidents. We are gonna compare them with Trump. And
We
let's
could
see.
have picked 44, but we kept it with 4. So, let's see. Was Trump better than these 4?
George Washington was one of the founding fathers and became first president of America in 1789 till 1797. He led the Patriot forces in the War of Independence against England. Was the commanding general of the Continental Army in 1775 till 1783. He resigned his commission after the Treaty of Paris in 1783. Washington played a key role in rectifying the Constitution of America in 1787 when it was created. He even understood that the slavery was a bad institution and freed his slaves in his last will in 1799.
I am going to be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. Remember that.
I would give myself an A+.
Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president. He led the nation through the Civil War and the greatest moral crisis and ended slavery with the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. His Gettysburg Address, November 19, 1863, is still one of America's best-known speeches in American history. Some of these words were, that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from this earth. Promoted the 13th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, what made an end to slavery in 1865. In 1865 he was shot just days after the end of the war. He is for many still the greatest president ever.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
They don't want these people, so they send them to the United States, because the United States is run by stupid people. We have stupid leadership. We have incompetent leadership that doesn't know what it's doing, so we take them.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd president and still holds the record of longest sitting president. He was president from 1933 till his death in 1945, and he led the country through the toughest periods of 20th century. He directed government through the Great Depression in 30s. In 1941, after the attack of Pearl Harbor, America joined the Allied forces against the Nazis.
FDR offers a plan. The government will provide work for Americans. He calls it the New Deal. It's a stark contrast to Hoover's hands-off policy.
This campaign is more than a contest between two men. It is more than a contest between two parties. It is a contest between two philosophies of government.
He started the New Deal to get the US out of the Great Depression, what ended up in the New Deal coalition. It looks like the USA already had a Bernie Sanders.
Let's have a recession. The United States is doing phenomenally well. But one thing I have to do is economically take on China, because China has been ripping us off for many years. President Clinton, President Bush, and President Obama, and others. I am the chosen one. I'm wonderful for the USA.
John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States. His presidency was mostly consumed by the Cold War and what almost ended in a nuclear war, the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. He started the Peace Corps, what passed and was authorized by Congress in 1962.
I have today signed an executive order providing for the establishment of a Peace Corps on a temporary pilot basis. I'm also sending to Congress a message opposing authorization of a permanent Peace Corps.
and up till this date, 235,000 Americans joined the Peace Corps and served in 141 countries. He supported the Apollo program, what eventually resulted with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin being the first men walking on the moon in 1969.
Several shots were fired as President Kennedy's motorcade passed through downtown Dallas.
He died of a gunshot wound in the brain.
We have suffered a loss that cannot be weighed. I know that the world...
After he was assassinated in Dallas, Texas in 1963, Congress enacted many of his proposals. The Civil Rights Act was signed in by Johnson in 1964, what gave civil rights and labor law. That outlaws discrimination based on color, race, religion, sex or national origin. He is all over the world still known for his speech in West Germany in 1963, where he said, "All free men, wherever they may live, are citizens of Berlin, and therefore, as a free man, I take pride in these words. Ich bin ein Berliner."
There are some who say, in Europe and elsewhere, we can work with the communists. Let them come to Berlin.
So, what do you think? Are these four worse or better than Trump?
We are not Americans, so you guys decide. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about the story, and if you want to know about something, just ask us and we go after it.
Yeah, like, subscribe and click that little bell icon. Thank you and goodbye.
Hasta la pasta!